Welcome to the Transparency Wednesday, Hump Wednesday. Sorry for the delay. Cheers. Mm-mm. Whoa. Everything is great. Everything is perfect. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Gonna give people a chance to get in chat. Love. Again, cheers to your Hump Wednesday. Get over the hump. We're gonna talk about 1133 tonight. A little bonus episode. What they think, what the cops want us to believe happened. I'm here for it, so it'll help you guys understand the case a little bit better. What's up in chat? Design Life, Mark, Sarah, Canadian Mama, New Orleans lady. Again, sorry about the little bit delay, but people on the West Coast gotta love it. They gotta love my delays. Okay. Whoa. Again, this is about the tonight's episode that I'm doing this live. It has to do with Fight for a Family. It has to do with Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. So has to do with Tyreek Pugh, Sheldon Jeter Jr. case, as well as actually the other unsolved homicides, Rachel Tondo, the wrongful conviction of Jamie Brown. I think it is no secret that we got some corruption going on. But why? Why is it going on? Especially when people want to talk about Aliquippa PD being corrupt. Well, now you're talking about, the Aliquippa Police Department. They're not the only ones that are doing the homicides. PSP, Beaver County Detectives. So, yeah. But on May 16th at approximately 1:30 a.m., myself and Officer Bitts responded to Two Cousins convenience store to locate any surveillance. that showed all vehicles coming from Keel Street onto Franklin Avenue at the time of the incident. Again, the incident, May 15th, at 11:41 p.m., dispatch went out. So I have a nice little video for you guys that I did personally to show you something. Okay. Second pop-up video is two cousins. Okay. Now, two cousins closes at midnight. And this and all the police officers, this incident, police officers were over there at 11:43, 11:47 p.m. And I want to know how they possibly made it back to two cousins to ask them, if it closes at midnight, how were they able to get surveillance of all the cameras and possibly view them like they said they did between the time of the body being found and the time of, getting over at 3 o'clock in the morning to Orchard Street. They said that they viewed the cameras and that they were able to observe a Chevy Traverse. Okay, but I'm going to go and ask these guys in here if on that night, how they were able to obtain any video surveillance and look at anything if they were closed, Owners?
I'm Minigal.
You are? Oh,
Minigal.
Lana, nice to meet you.
My name's Ali.
Oh, nice to meet you. I have a question. So you guys have surveillance, correct?
Yeah.
Like cameras and stuff? What time do you guys close? Midnight?
Midnight.
Okay. Do you recall back about a year ago when the murder happened on the hill?
Well,
Like right here on Keel Street, the murder?
is it the number 5? It's in
Okay.
the back. Number
Okay,
5.
yeah.
What happened?
Because, well, it was about a year ago. Did police officers come and talk to you about getting the surveillance? Like, because we used, I think
What
that it was back like in May.
Long time.
Long time. Yeah, I was just remembering. Do you remember, like, okay, so if you close at midnight, do you live upstairs?
Sometimes.
So like someone can just knock on the door and be like, hey, can we see your cameras?
No, I can't. Nighttime now.
Yeah, if you're asleep at midnight.
Midnight.
Do your cameras run past midnight?
If you want anything, I can you say the camera. If you want any problem, can you call the police?
Yeah, no, it was the police that came here to you. Do you remember when they came here and asked about the murder that happened on Keel Street?
Mine?
It was, yeah, May, like, not this past May, the May before.
2020?
Yeah, during COVID.
Oh, long time.
Yeah. I'm just saying, do you remember them ever coming here and asking for your surveillance? Like in the middle of the night, did they ever wake you up in your room?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah, a long time.
I know, right?
One year.
I didn't realize, oh my gosh, how many cameras do you have? That's awesome.
16.
Holy shit. Oh, I've never seen a setup like that. Okay. But once your store closes, you can't come and knock at the door and be like, hey, can I get your surveillance and look at it? Or they were the police, if I got the police to come after midnight due to an incident. They said they came here, you know, after store was closed and was able
Police
to...
is coming midnight?
Yeah, but it was closed. Like your guys' store was closed.
Oh, what happened?
There was a murder.
I don't remember this. A long time, maybe.
I know, right? Oh, here, go ahead, love.
Almost 2 years.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right. You guys have ATM here too? Okay. Thank you, babe. I'll be back. I didn't mean to hold you up. Okay. So I go back a second time. I mean, when I first went there, clearly you see it's a little difficult. Like, you know, no, 16 cameras total. 16 cameras total. So I go back. There's more footage here. But I want to talk about something before I go to that. So he had no idea what the fuck I was talking about, number one. A long time ago. Well, do you remember the police coming here to get video surveillance for a murder? I mean, a murder that happened, like, I don't know, right outside your store, just up like a couple football fields. But no, you can't just knock on the door. And if someone does stay up there occasionally, you could try to go and knock on that door. But as you can see, this guy had no idea what I was talking about. So I had to go with a little bit more reminding of what I'm talking about. And I bring up not the Sheldon Jeter Jr. case, not Tyreek Pugh. I bring up stuff that has absolutely no idea, like nothing to do with that area, to see and to make sure that, you know, he's just not saying yes, or he's just not saying no, or he's just, you know, a lot of people don't want to talk because they don't want to get involved, things like that. But as you can see, I'm on the ground. I'm doing my thing. I don't do he said, she said. But again, on May 16th, 2020, approximately 1:30 in the morning, Miller and Officer Bitts respond to Two Cousins convenience store to locate any surveillance video that showed all vehicles coming from Keel Street onto Franklin Avenue at the time of the incident. While reviewing surveillance video, I requested that Two Cousins allow PSP to review surveillance from 11:31 p.m. and 11:45 p.m. to show any vehicles coming from Keel Street onto Franklin Avenue. While monitoring the video at Two Cousins, the following vehicles were noted to pass by Two Cousins convenience store. Now, based upon the review of surveillance video, it was found two vehicles came off Cochran Street and onto Franklin Avenue. The remaining vehicles listed came from Franklin Avenue onto Cochran Street. So I'm going to repeat this. Again, based upon the review of the surveillance video, it was found two vehicles came off of Cochran, which would mean Cochran pretty much turns into Keel. It's just like a little bit of a strip that's like labeled Cochran. So they want us to know that 2 vehicles come off Cochrane, which would be down from the hill, and turn onto Franklin. The rest of the vehicles, the remaining, are coming from Franklin and turning and going. Another reason that they want to report this is because they're basically saying he was shot there on the hill, and that we want to be looking for somebody that would be coming from the crime scene and coming towards Franklin. That's what they think. And that's why they're making such a big to-do about there's only 2 cars that are coming from this crime scene. Well, how do you know the people didn't, whoever did this, why couldn't they be going to the crime scene on Franklin Avenue? Why are you making such a big to-do about the from the crime scene leaving that way? You can still go up the hill and leave the other way. So right off the bat, they're already zeroing in on a way versus just reporting the facts. They are telling us versus just reporting the facts with their narrative. They want to make sure everybody knows that the call to 911 was placed at 11:39 hours, or I'm sorry, at 23:39 hours, which is 11:39. And Aliquippa was dispatched at 11:41. The Aliquippa police were close to the area at the time of the call and were observed on camera at 11:41 and 52 seconds. The information would prove to be important later while at the residence noted on the driver's license found on the deceased. While at the residence, a Chevy Traverse was located in the driveway. Now, you can't have it both ways. So what I mean by that is either these are going to be accurate notes that you're taking, or some can't be accurate and the other ones cannot be. I mean, either this is accurate or it's not. You're saying at 1:30 in the morning, you were somehow able to obtain entrance into this convenience store that closes. It was COVID, okay? Closes at midnight, gates the whole thing up. But you don't have a report on the person that you talked to gain entrance. There's no report of that on how you were able, we called so-and-so, or we were able to meet with the manager because it was open. So this is after hours. How did this all happen? You just have them on speed dial. Remember this? So, but let's just go with their narrative. They're able to get in to 2 cousins at 1:30 in the morning. At 11:32 and 19 seconds, a white colored vehicle with an illuminated light on the roof turns onto Cochrane Street from Franklin. When they say this illuminated light on top, it's like a delivery vehicle, like a Domino's type of, delivery car. 11:32, 31 seconds. A silver 4-door Chevy Cobalt turns onto Cochrane Street from Franklin. I think it's important for me to share this so you can get an idea of here we go. All right. Let me share this for you. Share screen. There you go. So this is Franklin. And right here is Cochrane. So I'm going to just turn so you can see that's Cochrane. All right. Right like that. And this is the 2 cousins building. Okay. So we're going to go back. And this is two cousins right here. The Elks is on the end of the building. And right there, two cousins, okay? And like I said, they say 16 cameras, inside and outside, 16 total, okay? Now, this bridge here that you see, that's 51. And up here, see how Cochrane's just really small? It already became Keel Street. Okay, see this? It's just Cochrane for literally that little path. But right here, up here on the left, this is where you can go on to 51, which is a 2-lane highway. 51. And you can also come off, okay? And but up here on Keel, as we're going, right up here on the bend, just a little bit more, right there. Right here is your crime scene, right here at this bend here. There's an abandoned building here. But just want you guys to see how close we're talking of a drive. There is some apartments, a little bit of housing here on the left. Okay. But when you come down Keel Street, you can make this right to get onto 51. Okay. Or you can keep going straight. But what you cannot do technically is you cannot turn left here because it's a one-way. So you're not supposed to. Now, does that mean that you couldn't disobey the law and go that way? Absolutely. Okay, but you're not supposed to. This is a one-way coming from the other way. All right, so when you're coming down Keel Street from that crime scene, right, you have an option, which is going to be to continue all the way down Keel or to get onto 51 here. Or you could disobey and go down Highland, which was where that one way is. And the surveillance that they went and obtained, that they're saying they went and obtained at 1:30 in the morning, okay, is the Two Cousins camera. It's called Two Cousins Convenience Store, which is this building here. And like I said, it has a bunch of cameras right here on the edge. Now, I want us to take a look right here. I'm going to zoom in. Up there where you can see, let's get a little closer. Directly in front of us, it looks like it could be like a bridge, okay? You can get off at 51 a little bit earlier than that, where that Keel Street little entrance is. And you can come down this way. I'll show you here. Right here. See how this is a one way you can come. Okay. Let's put you right. We'll go this way. Because I want you guys to see this view. Okay. You see this right here? See this view? I'll just come right, zoom in a little bit here. All right. Two Cousins is right there. Actually, let's zoom out just a tad. I want to move right here. There we go. Now this is where I want to be. Okay, so from up here, you can see a lot, can't you? You can see the cars that would be coming from 51, okay, to turn onto Keel over there. You can see cars coming down. You can see a lot from up there. Now pay attention. We're on the lesser of the two higher up streets here. That obviously right here behind me is higher up. See that right there? And this is where Officer Alex Bitts was coming from. And he doesn't realize that he was caught on camera. I caught him on camera. He doesn't realize it. And let me show you what he does. Okay, let's read this report again right here. The call to 911 was placed at 11:39, and Aliquippa was dispatched at 11:41. The Aliquippa police were close to the area at the time of the call and were observed on camera at 11:41 and 52 seconds. Now, the camera that they're referring to is right outside of Two Cousins. That camera, when the cop car is passing Two Cousins. So what they're referring to is right here. In the still that they use, they put it right here, and oopsies, I went too far. Right here, right in front of the store. Like, see that Buick right there? It would be a still right there of when it was passing. That's the camera that they used in the courtroom to show, him being on camera at 11:41 and 52 seconds. Okay, well, we're going to get to Mr. Alex in 1 second. But continuing on with, so 11:32 and 19 seconds, that white colored vehicle. 11:32 and 31 seconds, a silver door Chevy Cobalt. At 11:35 and 56 seconds, okay, which is you're looking at like a 3.5 minute gap there. And that's going to be at 11:35 and 56 seconds is a Chevy Traverse comes to Cochran Street and Franklin Avenue, turns left. So that's the vehicle that they're putting Jeter in, Shelton. Again, at 11:35 and 56 seconds. He is at 1:30 in the morning, gets him and this other guy are in Two Cousins' camera, and they're writing all this stuff down while looking at the surveillance and being able to, okay, let's mark this, let's mark this, let's mark this. And they go to 11:36 and 45 seconds. A white SUV turns onto Cochran Street from Franklin Avenue southbound. Now, remember what the guy said, 16 cameras. 16 cameras. Well, what cameras are you using to get this? Because, let's go back to this. Did you then take were you able to get any thing to be able to see who was coming and going off of 51 from the back end of the cameras at Two Cousins, or did you just focus on, which would be, I'll show you the cameras because you can kind of see them. Did you just focus on the one that's right there? Let's zoom in. Oh, that's as close as I can go. Oh, wait, here. It's up there to the left, right by that light above the door. Right there. There's one of them. You see where it's pointed? There's the other one that's to the right. Okay. 1, 2, right when you walk in. And there was one on the side view. So, but they're gonna, they say 11:35 and 56 seconds, a Chevy Traverse comes, so they mark that down. 11:36 and 59 seconds, a GMC pickup truck. 11:37 and 37 seconds, a Dodge minivan turns onto Cochran Street from under State Route 51. This vehicle is later determined to be the 911 caller. Okay. Again, 11:37 and 37 seconds. Wait, what was that? Oh, a Dodge minivan, huh? Well, that's interesting. Then after that, at 11:37 and 57 seconds, a white four-door turns onto Cochran Street from Franklin Avenue southbound. 11:37 and 57 seconds. They don't say, it just says white four-door. Again, before that, the Dodge minivan. Before that's a GMC, the white SUV, a Chevy Traverse, silver four-door Chevy Cobalt, a white colored vehicle with an illuminated light. At 11:39 and 04 seconds, white quad cab GMC truck. At 11:39, 11 seconds, a white Ford Escape. And now we're talking about looking at surveillance, and it looks like, let's see. I mean, you wish it would look like this. It's like looking at, let's see. It's like looking at that second car and being able to tell what it was. This would take a lot of time to be pretty accurate. 11:39, white Jeep Cherokee. And then they, like I said, they stop at 11:41 and 52 seconds because that is the Alpha officer is observed turning onto Cochran Street from Franklin Avenue at 11:41 and 52 seconds. Now, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 vehicles is what they're saying. But this is not counting anybody that could have got on from the state route 51 further up where you're supposed to come to go to Keel Street. And this would not count anybody that was coming down Keel Street and then actually left up the other way to go and get on 51. And this would not count anybody that was coming on from Highland Avenue. That's only the one way to be able to turn up and to go to the crime scene. And it also wouldn't count anybody that was parked at the church or parked up on the side of the street and got there earlier and was waiting in quote unquote ambush style. But again, this is what they claim they did from 1:30 until God knows what time. But neither of these people ever left the crime scene. They were clocked in when they got there. They signed in, and they signed out when they cleared the scene at 3:32. So there's no report. There's no separate report, I should say, that BITS did. I guess because they're claiming that they went together. This is going to be their report. There's no mention of who they spoke to, what camera they used, nothing like that. All the other cameras and the surveillance that they got, it all happened on 5/16 during actual business hours. But this one right here, by God, they were able to get this at 1:30 in the morning when it's been closed for an hour and a half during COVID. And they then saw, when they went to give the death notice at Orchard Street, they then saw, oh my God, that's the traverse we just saw. That's that traverse that we just saw on camera. Oh, is it? Okay. Also, what Two Cousins had is they had the camera of everybody that was actually walking in and out of the store. When I say walking in and out of the store, at the time of the murder, what they're deeming as the time of the murder, 11:35. There's people walking in and out. Where are their names anywhere in any reports? Where are their names, the different people that are walking in and out that are seen on camera, going and buying something and then leaving? I mean, we're talking about someone that just got shot 7 times. Look at how close that is. People are walking in and out. They have the surveillance. They would have been able to, okay, hey, Aliquippa's people, everybody knows everybody. Who are these people? Not a single person that walked in and out of Two Cousins' store that night was asked, hey, did you hear gunshots? Look at, I mean, there's people on camera. Because guess what I did? I did it. I have it. But hey, God forbid, at 11:32 and 21 seconds, 11:32 and 21 seconds, there's a gentleman. I'm not going to say his name. At 11:36, there's another gentleman. At 11:33 and 45 seconds, there's another gentleman. At 11:33 and 57 seconds, there's another gentleman. And none of these gentlemen were asked, did you hear fucking gunshots? 7 gunshots. Look at how close this is, guys. Look at how close. Two Cousins. People just pull up right here. Okay. And you make your little right. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. See, that's where you can get, on. This is where you can get off, and you can either come down this way, or you can go up towards Kiel. So they wouldn't know of any cars that were coming from this area. Okay. Cops really interested in that gravel parking lot right there, by the way. And then right here is your Bend crime scene right here. So right here. You can keep on winding up this, and you're going to get up to the top of the hill where there's houses. Okay. Now you got all this open spot. You got all this, woods, an abandoned building. Okay. And at the time, this was not plowed. So this was all woods over here to the right. Now it got plowed, as in like the week during trial. It's really strange. But yeah, that would be all, like, think of it just being all, trees. So right here in the middle of the street, they say that Sheldon Jeter Jr. left from dropping off medication a second time and had Tyreek Pugh in the vehicle, and just on the way to work to drop him off at his job and for him to just get right back to his house, he just decides to stop the car in the middle of the road here, get out of the car, and let me just shoot you 7 times, laying right in the middle of the street here. See that light? That light is just basically right on the body. Meanwhile, the whole street is, when I wind up, and I'll show you guys, it is pitch black. You could have told him to get out of the car and I don't know, put him off to the side and shot him. But right here in the middle of the road, and then just, okay, now let me get back in the vehicle, leave all the shell casings just laying there all over. Let me just get in the vehicle, and I am going to now just drive home and go upload videos for my church. Right down here. Just gonna go right here, and I could, well, here I come. Coming down Keel. Right here I am seen then on the Two Cousins camera at the corner here. Then I turn, and I'm just going to take this Franklin Avenue the whole way, and I'm going to be seen driving along at 25 miles an hour, nice and slow, for 3 minutes that it takes me to get back to where I live. And I'm going to be seen right here. Look at this. Oh, right here on the right. Oh, that's the police department. I'm going to be seen. Oh, hey. I'm going to pass the Aliquippa business, or the, what was it? The government building. They're going to see me on camera there. I'm just driving along. I'm going to be seen on Dollar General camera again. Just all the way down here, Franklin Avenue. I'm going to be seen at the gas station camera. Yeah. Just driving 25 miles an hour, not speeding, not doing anything. And so let's go back over here to Keel. Almost there. There's Two Cousins. All right. So let's go back to this. The 911 caller is in a Dodge minivan. Turns on to Keel. Or I'm sorry, turns on to Cochran from 51. this vehicle is later determined to be the 911 caller. Again, 11:37 and 37 seconds. It's going to take you, 20 seconds to probably get to the body from when you would have turned here. And in his 911 call, again, guys, when I was lovely there at the trial, in his 911 call, he says that it looks like somebody got hit by a car, like hit and run. What? Looks like somebody got hit. Like, wait, what? Yeah, like got hit by a car. That is what is in, on the 911 recording. Pugh was shot 6 times in the head. Between the eyes. I mean, this is, how are you looking at this body and saying that you think that somebody got hit by a vehicle? He was shot, and it was very obvious. Those, but here, he calls at 11:39 and some odd seconds. 11:37 and 37 seconds. He said, I had a call within like 30 seconds of, arriving to the body because I made my 911 call at 11:39. But wait, I thought Brandon Wexler. I thought he passed the body first. Oh, that's right. He did. But he was coming from over here. Off of the 51, coming from Rochester. So he turned off from right here. He's coming from 51. So he gets right to this little intersection, and he's going to go then make a left coming out of 51. And then he's going to go left and go up the hill. And that's why allegedly he's not on the two cousins camera. Okay. Because his story is that, when I got off, I saw the body, but I was scared shitless. And I just kept on going, got my friends up from Moreland Street, told them about it. They got in the car, but guess what he said? Oh, I was afraid because I thought the shooter was still in the area. Wait, so you didn't get out and observe, and you think that he was shot. But the 911 caller who actually got out, saw the body, gave him a little kick in his leg with his foot, he said. He thought that he was hit by a car, even though he has six bullets and very visible in his head. But wait a second. Sheldon's SUV, this Chevy Traverse, at 11:35 and 56 seconds. That would put Sheldon up at the bend at 11:35 and 30 seconds. $11:35 and 30 seconds. How did Brandon Wexler not see Sheldon? He's on top of the hill at 11:36 and 30 seconds, and it takes a minute to get up there. So if you subtract a minute, 11:36, and he'd be there at 11:35 and 30 seconds. Oh, that's the same thing. That's when Sheldon would have been there. So Brandon Wexler would have seen Sheldon shooting him, would have seen what? He claims he didn't pass anybody. He didn't see anything, but he says a really weird thing. I thought the shooter was still in the area. Why do you think he was shot? If you didn't get out of it. And then how about this? You didn't call 911. So if you thought you were scared, okay, get up out of there. Wouldn't you call 911? Oh no, I just said when I got to my friend's house, told them that I saw this body. Oh my God, he flew up the hill. He got out of his car. He ran over there and was like, oh my God, there's a body. They were already on the porch hanging out. Hey, there's a body. We have to go back down there. Like, call 911. There's a body down there. And then they do. They go within like 2 minutes to come back to the body. But none of them call 911. Because when they get back down to the body, they then see this man in this van. And he had said that he had called 911. Interesting. So let me get this straight. If Brandon Wexler's story is his story is needed, because if he doesn't see a body when he's going up the hill, then that clears Sheldon just like that. See how important Brandon Wexler's story is, that he saw that body on his way up? It's very important. But we're supposed to take his word for it that there was a body. Even though he didn't make a 911 call, even though he just passes it and just, well, I'll just go get my friends and then we'll come back and then we're going to do something about it. Well, what if the guy could have used your help and he was still alive? Let me ask you guys a question. If you were such in a hurry and you're flying up the hill and you're scared and whatever, but you got to get your friends and you got to tell them, and you got to hurry up, come on, get back. Hey, get down here, get back in my car. Like, we got to go back down there. We got to do all this. And this all happens within 2 minutes, which it does. Would you get out of your vehicle and then click your lock button? Would you parallel park your car, get out, double click your lock to lock it, because then you see the lights flashing on the surveillance that I have? If you were planning on just getting right back in your car and going right back down there and just telling them to hurry up, we got to call 911, there's a body down there. Because in your witness statement and on the stand, you said your friends were on the porch. If I'm trying to hurry up and try to get people, come on, we got to go back down there, there's a body. I didn't want to do this myself, but he may need help. Call 911. So he has a cell phone. He doesn't do it on his way up. Then 3 of them, they don't call it until when they get to the body, which they said they were going to, but that guy had already been there and had called. Now, doesn't it make a little bit more sense if I'm going to read you guys something. Again, my notes, my note taker, she's just fabulous. Okay. witness 2 and witness 3, the people at the house. I reported that me and my son, we arrived home around 11:30. Around midnight, me and my son stepped outside on the porch, and we heard multiple gunshots. About 10. The shots sounded like they came from the direction down the hill. The shots were like muffled. I kind of believe that like a suppressor was used. They were really muffled. After hearing those shots, about 10 minutes later, my son's buddy comes flying up the road and yelled, "Call 911. There's a body laying in the road and he's dead." Me and my son, we get into his vehicle and we drive back down to verify, his story. When we got, back down there, we saw the victim lying in the road and with gunshot wound to his head. It was immediately apparent that, he was deceased. There was another individual on the scene. He had already called 911. Yeah, that's what I got for you. That's my statement. So 10 minutes went by before, after you heard those shots, 10 minutes, and then your friend arrives. So, wow. Because 10 minutes is a lot longer than 1 minute, don't you think? But if you think 10 minutes went by, well, that would be like, instead of, 10:37 when your friend arrived, according to surveillance, that would mean like 10:27. Which Sheldon's not down there at that time even. Are we sure that this guy was shot on Keel Street Hill? Don't you think you would know the difference between, my buddy, he arrived, 10 minutes later after you hear the gunshot? You'd be, he just arrived like within a minute. Wouldn't you be able to, you would say, oh God, it was like weird. He flew up the hill and he had to be there after the gunshots, within like a minute or two. And that's why I kind of didn't believe him that he had passed the body, because it was like, well, did you see who did it? Because you came right after the gunshots. That's what would be going through your head. But 10 minutes afterwards is not a minute. That's a big discrepancy. And it would feel like a big discrepancy when you were going to be saying that in your interview. And so when trial came, it's very interesting, very convenient. The camera that they were using at the top of the hill was a house surveillance system. And when they attained this surveillance up in the neighborhood, they managed to get everybody's names when they did that, and asked them, and got the times right and the names, and they made all those notes. But God forbid the two cousins stuff that happened at 1:30. That's just, don't even know who you talked to. Don't even know how you got in. Don't even know who you called to get in. So knocking on doors. Hey, can you let us in? But the gentleman that turned over what would be very important footage needed in this case for law enforcement was the footage from 319. Keel Street. It was really strange. But when the officers called, he's like, yeah, you can have the footage. But just so you know, the footage, the time is off 43 minutes. It's not accurate. It's off 43 minutes. Wait, what? 43. It's off 43 minutes. It's not accurate. Not 45, not 60, not 30. 43 minutes. Let me pull my notes out for this. "43 minutes. Wow. Just the damnedest time. 43. How would you know that? And if you knew that it was off 43 minutes, why wouldn't you ever change that? 43 minutes. Oh, I know that my camera's off 43 minutes. I just lazy. I never changed it. But I know it. So like when I have to go look at it, whatever. Oh, but by the way, okay, well, we're going to come and grab that from you. Okay. And then they arrive to go get this footage. Oh, by the way, I went ahead and I changed it back. So I made it so that it all matches up now. So the time is now accurate. Wait, what? Yeah, it's not going to be off now when you look at it because I changed the time to reflect the accuracy. So, Wait, you did what? We call and tell you, and you agree to give us the surveillance cameras and the footage and the DVR and all this stuff. But now when we arrive, you let us know that, oh, hey, by the way, all the times are correct now because I went in there and I changed it so that it would reflect the right time. Huh. Why'd you do that? How do I know that it was off 43 minutes than before? I mean, okay, so then, all right, well, 319 Keel Street. He advised me that the surveillance system would be 43 minutes off for real time. He also advised me that he had since updated the time to reflect the accurate date and time. But during the homicide incident, that would be off about 43 minutes from the real time. This is just an estimate. Time in minutes by this guy. Well, if you were just estimating time in minutes, why wouldn't you say 45? 43 isn't an estimate. 43 is like exact. But Anthony was wrong. Our buddy Anthony was wrong. It wasn't off 43 minutes. It was off 26 or 28 minutes. Because they were able to come to this conclusion based on what time other people were passing two cousins. And they used the time that somebody had passed two cousins' camera, and then by the time they get up to the hill and they looked at the time frame of that camera and when they were at the top of the hill, and they subtracted it from what two cousins would be at. This is what they were doing in trial. This is what was going on while I was sitting there watching this. I'm like, wait a second. Wait, can come again? What? You know what's weird? What time did the guys think that they got back? That they got back home around 11:30, and that it was around midnight that they heard those gunshots. Do you want to know what time Brandon Wexler's seen on the camera? If it just goes based off if it was accurate. 12:02 and 12:04 a.m. But then again, if you go off of that, and if it's actually 43 minutes off, you subtract 43 minutes from 12:02 and 12:04, that's putting, they said, oh, that can't be right because he was seen on Sheets camera in Rochester at 11:23 leaving. And it's a 13-minute drive. So they had 13 minutes. So he should be right around that 11:36 time. Okay. But he didn't stop anywhere. No, he said he didn't stop anywhere. Oh, so that's what he said. He said he didn't stop anywhere. So that's got to be right, right? Okay. Well, he said so. Well, Sheldon said he didn't kill Pugh. Well, nope, that can't be right. Okay. So wasn't that something? This Dodge minivan, that's the 911 caller, that can't be accurate because the van at the crime scene is oh yeah, here it is, right here. It's a silver Chrysler Town and Country minivan bearing Pennsylvania temporary registration tags. Blank. Silver Chrysler Town and Country minivan. Wait. Oh, it must have just not been a Dodge. It must have been a Town and Country, and it must not have been a Dodge. No, you can't have it both ways. No, because then I could say the same thing. Oh, it must not have been a Chevy Traverse. It's probably like I don't know, an Equinox. See what I'm saying? And Sheldon doesn't drive an Equinox. So you kind of have to be right with with what you think this car is at 1:30 in the morning when you're just jotting all the stuff down that you said you did. But wait a second. The report that you typed up, though, it wasn't typed up, the next day on 5/16. It wasn't typed up until 5/20. My notes are just on, my notes are just something sick, something fierce over here. So, gosh. But hey, this murder happened at 11:33. Between 11:33 and 11:35. Why do you say that? Just curious, why that time? Well, because Brandon Wexler said he saw the body. And so there has to be a body there. And the other people going up the hill, they didn't see one. When they were going up, coming home from work, they didn't see one. Okay. Oh, and then the 911 caller, he's there at 11:37. Okay. Oh, he couldn't he couldn't be shot at 11:37, and he just happened to get there like 30 seconds afterwards. That's really strange. And I have a question. How did you guys obtain a search warrant to search? Because probable cause, right, to search the home of Sheldon. You have to have some probable cause here, and you want to search it, and yada yada yada. And what you're using on a warrant is his two cousins, this surveillance. Like, this is really important. So let's see. Wait, when was that search warrant? It was signed at 3:37 p.m. on 5/16. 3:37 p.m. It's interesting. And well, but you didn't obtain the footage till 5/16 at 1700 hours, which is 5 p.m. On the 16th, you don't obtain the actual like flash drive download of the two cousins camera until 5:16 at 5 p.m. And so this search warrant is going off of basically, okay, going to two cousins at 1:30, jotting this down, and then claiming that that's the vehicle that you've seen, that you saw. So what if you never saw it? So if you got that search warrant and you never looked at that footage at 1:30 in the morning, that would be a lie, wouldn't it? You lied in a sworn statement to a judge to get a search warrant. Did anybody do their fucking jobs? Defense? Then you tell Jeter and his grandfather that the car's ready. You can come get your phone so you can bring them down to the barracks at like between 2 and 4 p.m. on the 16th. And then you leave from after interviewing him again. Get in your vehicle. Then you drive the two cousins because you pick up the footage at 5 p.m. on the 16th. And then you put it in evidence at 10:30 p.m. on the 16th. Then you sign it out of evidence on the 18th. I'm sorry, on the 19th. Why did you need to sign out the two cousins footage on the 19th? Oh, I know why. Oh. Because Corporal Miller had to get his report in. His typed up report on 5/20 with everything that has to do with the two cousins, on how you guys got that footage at 1:30 in the morning. And the only way that you could actually say that you did it this way, because you don't put all this stuff in that warrant. But in order to type up this report, you actually need to pull it back out of evidence and actually go through it like you said you did, so that you can have this all for your report that you then turn in on 5/20. I mean, wow. Hmm. So the guy that co-signed on the affidavit to charge Jeter with homicide is the guy involved with the two cousins footage. Interesting. Hmm. There it is. Hmm. Very interesting, huh? Gosh, they're good. They're so good. There's no way that you're actually up on top of that hill or part of this ambush as to know like what time that you would have seen Sheldon leaving. Um, hmm. Interesting. I mean, with this amazing police work and just on it like that, how are there any unsolved crimes in Aliquippa? I mean, this is just phenomenal police work. Just woo on it. All this footage, arresting people within 24 hours. Hot damn. How are there all these unsolved homicides? I mean, how's Rachel Del Tondo not have her killer in cuffs? What about Gilliam? 2016, Savante Gilliam, Purple Heart winner. Eh. Rachel Del Tondo, 2018, national news. Eh. Had all that surveillance back then too. But hey, 2020 during COVID, 24 hours, we have every surveillance tape. We had surveillance tape within an hour and a half at Two Cousins. We were pounding on that door. We were determined to get that surveillance. Oh, and then nobody was at the home when you did the search. Oh, that's right. You lured them and lied to them and said that they can come pick up a vehicle that wasn't even there. It was at June X. It wasn't even at the barracks. It was at June X on Franklin Avenue. So you lured them away so that what? You could load up Sheldon's room the way that you wanted it to do it. Get the fuck out of here. This is such crap. But you know what? To be on a jury and to sit here and listen to this shit, I pity those people. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. This is it. While walking up to Orchard Street, the address, Officer Bitts advised me that the Chevy Traverse sitting in the driveway resembled the Chevy Traverse he and Miller observed on video surveillance from Two Cousins store located on Franklin Avenue near its intersection with Cochran. Wow. I mean, Officer Bitts, you were just above and beyond. But wait a second. Why did you go Why did you go to Orchard Street again? Oh, because Pugh's ID had the same address as Sheldon. Wow. Wow. No motive, but that the guy that ends up winding up dead on 5/15/2020 happens to have the same address and is with Sheldon getting ice cream and doing random stuff, and he's never with him. I just happened to be with him that night. He's never with him. It's during COVID. Hasn't seen him in forever. Woo! Hot damn. Where's my other notes here about you weren't so quick to out Mr. Bits to get on the surveillance the video from the Roosevelt apartments, though. You waited till 5:18 from my notes to go retrieve the surveillance. 5:18 after the arrest. You have to remember, Sheldon was arrested. 5:16 around like. I want to say like 6-7 p.m. I think that's what that one was. All I know is I take some really good notes. That trial was something else, man. I mean, I don't know how it could be reported any other way when you're sitting in there, like the mainstream media was sitting in there. I think that you got all these media people sitting in there. How are you reporting the way that you were? That just really, I don't understand. I don't understand how I could view something one way and am I going to sit here and tell you that it looks bad that Sheldon was up in Plan 6 dropping off medicine with Pugh and then he leaves him up there and then he comes down, drives home, and that Pugh's found dead on the same path that he drove home? Well, yeah. But how did you get that evidence? And leading up to that time frame of 11:35, what was going on? Why did Sheldon have to go twice to give medicine? Oh. No, that can't really be important, can it? Well, yeah, I think it kind of can. If I'm bringing you Advil, I go up there and I bring you Advil. I leave. Why do I need to bring you Advil again? you didn't bring me enough, or you didn't bring me the right kind, or wait, what? Well, then I've already been up there. You can come pick it up your fucking self, right? But hey, Sheldon's nice. He lives with his grandfather, and he was taking either more medicine or the wrong medicine was taken, and he needs to take the right medicine, right? Okay. Then how did Sheldon know that he had to take more medicine or that he didn't take the right medicine? How would you know that you need to bring back more medicine? Somebody would have to do what? Tell you about it, right? So now Sheldon's grandfather suffered a couple strokes. And who would be the person that would have to tell somebody that this is the wrong kind of medicine or that this isn't enough medicine? Who would have to be that person? Well, the person who is taking the medicine, correct? Right? How would I know if I brought you medicine and I leave? How would I know that it wasn't enough or it wasn't the right kind? You would have to tell me. You would have to call me or text me or let me know when you see me to be like, oh man, this isn't the kind I wanted, or oh my God, this isn't enough, right? How I can't just read your mind or read. I mean, how would I know that I did not give you enough medicine or the right medicine? You would have to tell me. The recipients of whoever was getting this medicine, or they would have to tell somebody that then told me, because how do I know to go back the fuck up there and bring you medicine again? Okay, so let's take a look at Sheldon's phone records. Let's take a look at Sheldon's digital paper trail. Would you believe it? Sheldon had an iPhone. Sheldon never went anywhere without his phone. It was always in his pocket. And he had that app, the health data app, when it tracked how many steps you took. It tracked when you would go up flights of stairs, because that's what Apple products are amazing, right? Well, hot diggity dog. That is like that shit gets me off. I get to look at digital evidence and line it up. Oh, all day, all day. I'll be up all night. Just throw it at me. So nobody would know that Sheldon has this, and nobody would know that that it could possibly prove statements not true. But Sheldon's lawyers would have known if they would have done their job. So I'll just do that for them so that his appeal goes smooth as can be. And let's take a look at here it is. 10 p.m. The Chevy Traverse is seen backing out of his residence. Okay. Prior to backing out of its residence, Sheldon's digital say that he took 162 steps beginning at 1:07 p.m. I'm sorry, at 10:07 p.m. and took one flight of stairs, and it has a start time and it has a stopping time. And the way that Apple products work is if you go up so many steps, which is usually, I think it's 10 or 12. I think it's 10. It can register that, and then it marks you down for one flight of stairs, it says. Sheldon lives in a house that has 2 stories. His bedroom is upstairs. The bathroom is upstairs. And so if he is on the couch watching TV, he realizes, okay, we got to go take this medicine. They're sitting there. He stands up. He starts to walk. It's going to start counting your steps. As he's walking, after taking, let's say 4 steps, he comes to stairs. He walks up those 10. It's then going to say a different time frame, but it could still be within that time frame of when you're walking. It'll just have 2 separate boxes, and it'll say that during this point to this point, you walked up a flight of stairs. And at 10:19, the Chevy Traverse is seen on Dollar General camera to start the process of going up the hill to Carlicia's house, which is where he was headed to take the medicine. And I went ahead and I looked. Oh, right here. Oh, there's a phone call. Okay. 10:02 and 8 seconds. Him and Carlicia talk for 1 minute and 34 seconds. So, okay. That adds up that they talk. He's going to bring up this medicine. All seems good so far. Carlicia at trial said that she told Sheldon to call him or call her once he arrived, once he got up there. Call when you get here. Okay. I noticed that. Okay, so yep. Sheldon called at 10:24 and 59 seconds. So we'll just easy math 10:25. That's interesting. So, according to Carlicia's testimony, she said, "Hey, he called me when he arrived, and he called me at like 10:24 and said he was here. And then he came to the door, and one of the kids answered because she was in the bathroom upstairs, And she said that he didn't want to leave the medicine, so because she's got little kids, so he goes upstairs. And she said that they were talking through the door. She was in the bathroom. He's outside the bathroom, and that they're joking around and talking. And the he said he wasn't in a rush or anything like that. He could wait till she got out to give it to her or whatnot. Again, this is all her testimony. And that she's like, no, it'll be fine. It's good. You can leave. You know what I mean? And so she said that he then said, okay. And he goes downstairs. She said he was probably there for, no more than 15 minutes. He goes downstairs, leaves the medicine on like a fireplace mantle type thing. And, that he left. And that she had no idea that he was supposed to come back, and that he came back until one of the kids mentioned it. And brought upstairs and said that Scatter returned and he brought, more medicine, but that she had no idea that he was supposed to be coming back there. Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look here. Well, that's interesting. Sheldon starts taking steps at 10:20 and 32 seconds. 10:20 and 32 seconds. So he's seen on the Dollar General at 119, and that's where you turn to go up the hill to then get to Carlicia's. And a minute and 32 seconds later, he starts walking. Takes 82 steps total over a period of how long? That's funny though. Wait a second. But he doesn't call her until 10:24 and 59 seconds. So he lets almost 4.5 minutes go by, and he's up there, and he doesn't call her. 4.5 minutes. He's walking around. All he does is take 82 steps. That's like 80. That's like 41 one way, and then 41 back, because then you have to get back to your vehicle. Huh. No flight of stairs. No flight of stairs. So he waits 4.5 minutes to call her. He never goes up a flight of stairs. Well, oh, does anybody see there's a little bit of a problem here? I know why I would wait 4.5 minutes to call somebody after walking. He never goes upstairs. Oh, this is what kind of makes a little bit more sense. If I arrive and knock on the door and there's no answer, and I'm waiting, and waiting. And then I walk back to the car. And I walk back up to the door again. I try it again. And then her 12-year-old answers. And I just give the medicine to the 12-year-old. And then I walk back to the vehicle and get in the car. And then I call you to tell you I did that. Hey, just want to let you know I just dropped it off with the kid. Like, adios. Like, and then, like, on your way of leaving to do that. Because why would anybody wait 4.5 minutes after taking a bunch of steps? If they were supposed to call when they got there, then you would go up to the door and call right away, right? Why would you start walking at 10, 20, and 32 seconds to then waiting 4.5 minutes and already taking a bunch of steps and then call? Again, this is somebody's statement versus what the facts show. Now, make it make sense. Sheldon wasn't there for 15 minutes. Sheldon didn't go up a flight of stairs. But why make up something like that? That doesn't make sense, right? Now the time ends at 10:28, and Chevy Traverse is seen at 10:34 pulling back into the residence. What happens when you just converse with somebody, you're just standing there and you're just conversing? Do you guys walk and talk all the time, or is it okay to take a couple steps? You start talking to somebody and then you take a couple more steps, or you take like 20 steps because you get to the door and then you start having a conversation. But you never go upstairs. Oh, and then you have no idea he's coming back, which means you had no idea that it was the wrong medicine or it wasn't enough because you had no idea he was coming back. So how did that get relayed to anybody? To Sheldon, to his grandfather? But you say that, I would say that the guy that needed the medicine, he realized it wasn't the right kind of medicine and said something to him, but you didn't say that he handed it to him. He left it on the mantle. So that couldn't have happened. It's just all a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? But anyway, you slice and dice it. Sheldon didn't go up any stairs, and he left. Doesn't it make a little bit more sense if Sheldon was supposed to call, and he didn't call until he had already dropped it off and just left it with whoever answered the door, and then he got in the vehicle, and as he was leaving, he called to say that, hey, I dropped it off. And you're like, wait, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the assignment. We need him to come back the fuck up here. I would love to know what Pew was doing and who he was texting at that time. So they leave, get back home at 10:34, only to go back to bring either more or the wrong kind. Either way, heading back at 11:10 to go back there. Do you think it makes also a little bit more sense that Sheldon got to the house, nobody was there, and then he called and said, hey, I'm here. Oh, hey, we're next door at the neighbors, just come over here. Or I'll be right over and grabbing it. Whatever. It's a Friday. Neighbors are outside kicking it. I don't know. I mean, it's COVID. But there is all these street rumors about people gambling in the basement or with the neighbors. There is these rumors about people gambling up there, playing dice. But one thing I can tell you is that story is 100% not true. So you need to ask yourself, why say that story? Why was that important to say? Why was it important to act like you didn't know that he was supposed to come back up there? I was in my room. I'm working on a business plan. It's a Friday at 11 o'clock. Friday night, 11 o'clock during COVID, you're working on a business plan. I said to myself, get it, girl. Come work for me, man. I want those eager beavers. But then I did a little bit more research. And you want to know what's weird about that? The biggest thing that's weird about that? The person that is saying they're working on a business plan on a Friday at 11 o'clock at night on 5/15, 2020 is the same person that pled guilty to a huge fentanyl ring and her activity in it. You guys can go check out the Facebook post for it. And her sentencing was supposed to be on May 29th, 2020. And she was looking at a max of 40 years. She She took a plea deal, though, because she pled guilty, so you're pleading, so hopefully you're getting a deal. What was that deal? But more importantly, what business plan are you working on when you're going to prison in 15 days? Or supposed to be? You guys tell me what you think of that. Oh, but it's 2022. It's February 2022. And this person still hasn't had their sentencing. Mm. But I'm just white trash and don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. You want to know what I think is crazy? These are police officers that are doing these, interviews and interrogations. And so that all you got to do is just type the name in and see who the person is and what's up with them and what they've been into. And woo. Back down at 10:34. Now I gotta go bring more medicine / or the different kind because it's the wrong. But she doesn't know anything about this until our kid comes up there and says that, oh, Scatter brought more medicine. And okay. And oh wait, what was the other part of that? Yeah. Why are these people lying? Aren't they supposed to be his friends? Yeah, they're family. That's his cousin. I don't know why they're lying. I guess, I mean, how about a better question is when you have this stuff in front of you as a peace officer or a detective and you're looking at people's statements and there's evidence that proves somebody is not being honest, I think that one would pause, have caution with, okay, we need to look into this. And I'm going to ask this person a couple more questions. They needed Sheldon to come back up there because Sheldon didn't call when he first arrived. He called after he had left. And they needed Sheldon to go back. And then you hear, these officers are saying that Sheldon wasn't making any sense. Oh, he's saying Pugh was supposed to go to work. Then he says he got fired. Then he's, walking to work and just they made it seem like that Sheldon's story wasn't adding up, right? Because he's saying all these different things. Well, no, he's repeating what Pugh was saying to him. You know, he's walking to work. No, now he doesn't have to go to work. Now he got fired from work. Um, they say to Sheldon, well, you leave with Pugh, you come back, it's on camera that you're by yourself. And they weren't understanding each other. Yeah. He's up there, like, he was walking to work. So he said he's going to walk to work. Then he said he didn't have to go to work. Then he said he got fired from his job. He was talking all types of mess. And there was some confusion on what cameras you're referring to as far as, yeah, the last time I saw him, he was walking up out of this house. But that can't be true because he's not seen them come back, and then you're leaving the murder scene at the time. He's totally confused when he's being asked all this stuff. He's not understanding what they mean by what cameras are caught what. Like, what are you talking about? I said it to you. Shit, his grandfather said it to the police. That, quote unquote, check this out. Quote unquote. These notes are just from the trial. Woo! Killer. Sheldon's grandfather explained that he took Tyreek to the hill. The hill was later described as Plan 6 in Aliquippa. His grandfather said that Pugh wanted to walk from there for some reason, and Sheldon Jeter let him out. His grandfather said, or he was questioned if Pugh or Sheldon had any friends or relatives in that area. Again, this is at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning is when this took place, at 3 a.m. when they went to give the death notice, because they thought that that's where Pugh lived because it was on his ID, but he did not live there. He said that Pugh's baby mama was identified, gave the name. I remember he's had 2 strokes, but he knew before Sheldon ever even came downstairs, because it was at 3 o'clock in the morning. They knock on the door, and he welcomes them and says, he explained he wasn't the only person home at the time. They asked him who was there, and he said, me and my grandson, Sheldon. who's currently upstairs sleeping, again at 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, they asked him if he knew Tyreek Pugh, and he said, yeah. But where's the question of, well, does he live here? Aren't you coming there to give a death notice? Or would you say, are you the grandfather of Tyreek Pugh? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you're there. He said Tyreek doesn't live at this residence. He doesn't live here, but he'll stop by and visit. So right there, when you're told that he doesn't live there, oh, I'm sorry to bother you this late. We just had it on his ID that, you know, that he lived here. Isn't that how that would go? How would that go? How would that go if you're going to give a death, you know, notice? 3 o'clock in the morning. He said, yeah, he doesn't live here. He said that he's known him for a long time. That Pugh's mother lives somewhere out east or something like, and he said New Jersey. Yeah, again, he said he doesn't live at the residence, but he'll stop by. And he said that, you know, he was there that day actually. Um, and then they got right into, well, Sheldon's grandfather said that between, you know, 10:30 and 11, him and Sheldon left. And because Pugh doesn't have a vehicle, so Sheldon drove the SUV. And when asked where they were going, he said that Sheldon took Pugh to the hill. That's he said he wasn't able to provide any other information. You know, an older man at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you know, took him up to the hill. You know what I mean? But yeah, he doesn't live here. Oh, you know, no, sorry to bother you. And okay, well, you know, do you have a number that we can call? Do you know do you have his, do you have a contact for his mom? You know, stuff like that. I mean, is that normal? Um, no, instead, 3 officers went there, not two like normal, three. And then the rest of the people then just show up 15 to 30 minutes after and line Orchard with police vehicles for a death notice. We need six units there for a death notice. What? 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 I mean, do you guys think that's normal? Last time I checked, it's not. Then, so so where's the confusion there with Pap got it right, grandfather got it right, that they dropped him off up there, that, went up to the hill, took him up there to the hill. So for the second time that they went up there, was it for the medicine? And at this point, they didn't know what even went down. No, I mean, nobody, the only people that knew went down was the police knew that there was, obviously he's dead. They're getting there at 3:00 in the morning. But what they're about to try to claim here is that, well, hey, well, here, when your grandson wakes up in the morning, can you have him give us a call? We want to talk to him about, I mean, just, woo. Nope, let's just wake him up because, let's see. Where's my other note here? Let's see how they want to portray this. Oh, that's right. That's right. This is when, so there's 3 police officers there at just a little bit after 3:00 in the morning. To then, now we're going to go ahead and put, Officer Bitts, come on down. He arrives now. Officer Bitts and DeLuca and I mean, Galati, Bitts, all these people, all these officers, they're just all on Orchard Street now. And when they get there at 3:15, Miller and McGarry approach the residence and walk onto the porch. And Sheldon's grandfather was awake and allowed us to enter the residence to speak with him. So that's when that talk happened. Then when Bitts gets there, he's like, "Oh, that's the traverse that we saw on that camera." Now here all of a sudden, Sheldon comes downstairs. And, oh, wait, that's right. We have digital evidence. Because Sheldon put his phone in his pocket. They want us to know that Sheldon came downstairs and he was dressed in dark colored pair of shorts, no shirt, and dark sandals. Miller and McGarry engaged Jeter and his grandfather in conversation about their interaction with Pugh. Sheldon was struggling to have a conversation and would not make sense with his comments. Sheldon was specifically asked who is Pugh's family in the area that we could speak with. Sheldon said he did not know any family in the area except for a girl on the hill that Pugh used to talk to. Sheldon and his grandfather took responsibility of being Pugh's family. And advised that they are the closest thing to family that he has in the area. We questioned him on who the girl on the hill is, but we struggled to get clear information out of both of them because they don't know who the girl is. Both. Sheldon and his grandfather asked if, or Sheldon was asked if Pugh lives at the residence, and he said no. He pops in and out. Sheldon was requested to take us through the evening. You guys ready for this? He said that him, Bear, Pugh, and his grandfather went to get ice cream earlier at Brewster's. After that, they came back to the house. He says that Pugh walked away from the house to go to work. Wait a second. Wait, what? So this is what you're trying to say happened inside the home without a recording device, and that it was typed up on 6/15/2020 in a report. A month later, walked away from, oh, I'm sorry. After that, after they came back to the house, Pugh walked away from the house to go to work. From the house. Well, from the house is what house? Carlicia's? Like, yeah, we came back, but like, did he say we come back? Did he say I came back, but I came back and he walked away from the house and went to work? I mean, interesting. Jeter was questioned again on who the female Pugh knows on the hill. And then he said her name is Carlicia, but he doesn't know her last name or phone number. They're getting this all confused right now with all of this. Sheldon maintained he didn't know that he knows how to get to her house, but does not know the address. A lot of people do that. So all of this happened, all this questioning happened, right? Check this out. Sheldon continues to tell the officers that while in the car, Pugh was saying things that did not make sense. Pugh told Jeter earlier that he lost his job. While in the car, Pugh told Jeter that he's going to walk to work. This did not make sense to Sheldon due to Pugh just saying he lost his job. Sheldon was questioned what up the hill meant, and he said he explained the route he took to get up the hill. He told them that, you go by Dollar General up that way. This meant Plan 6 to the police. Sheldon again explained that Pugh was acting very strange in the car and not making any sense. he wanted to walk to work, so we let him walk to work, then drove home. That this was the last time Sheldon saw or spoke with him. Sheldon was questioned about the inconsistencies in Pugh, walking from the house and Pugh walking from the car in Pen 6. Sheldon was unable to explain why there was a discrepancy in his story. Again, I'm going to get there. Sheldon would ramble about how Pugh was saying something about the rain, walking to work, and how Pugh was talking about someone's girlfriend, but that person doesn't even date that person. This is where Lana gets, like, this makes all sense once you see where this investigation goes. He's basically saying Pugh wasn't making any sense that night. He was talking weird in the car. He just wasn't making any sense. You're going to see why. He was rambling on about, stuff like talking about someone's girlfriend, but that person doesn't even date that person. Sheldon was rambling about things that made zero reference to anything we were talking about. What do you mean? He's telling you what the hell he was saying to him. I think it's relevant, but you don't think it's relevant, but he's just letting you know this is what this dude was saying to me. After getting back on topic, Sheldon was asked what he did in Plan 6. He explained that he took medication to Carlisha for gout. Sheldon was asked what way he returned home. Again, this is, and he said down the other end. He was questioned on what the other end means and referred to State Route 51. Sheldon said he came back home and he has been home since. Sheldon was asked who Carlisha was, and he said he doesn't know, a friend. What? That's not what he said or did. Then this is where his grandfather spoke up and said Carlisha is his granddaughter. Sheldon was asked where she lived and a phone number. He could only tell us that he knew how to get to her house, but did not know her number or last name. What? That kind of sounds like someone being cool with like the whole street code. Like, I'm not trying to drag other people into this. Like, what the hell are you here for? Like, what's going on? So I think that that's more like Sheldon's way of staying the hell out of something. But again, it's 3:15 in the morning, right? Check this out. Oh, let's go to that digital evidence, right? Oh, that's right. Let's see here. Da-da-da. Huh, interesting. 3:36 a.m. and 17 seconds. Sheldon comes and makes 16 steps. 16 steps. 3:36 a.m. and 17 seconds. 16 steps. Oh, at 3:39 and 10 seconds in the morning. So just, 3 minutes later, he calls his uncle. He calls his uncle 3 minutes later. 3 minutes later. But wait a second. Wait a second. Oh. Sheldon and his uncle or his grandfather were questioned again on who can we contact within Pugh's family to get a message to them. And again, they told him that, we are the closest in the family. And then one of the officers requested Sheldon to attempt to find contact information of somebody who would know a family member, their number or address. Sheldon said, he would call Bear, his uncle. He should know someone. And then he goes ahead and calls Bear at 3:39 in the morning. So he's coming downstairs at 3:36. And at 3:39, he calls Bear. But these officers say that in 3 minutes, in 3 minutes, they were able to have this much of a conversation and get all this information, allegedly, with no recording devices to actually, state that what they're trying to say here is what went down and how he said it. But this is where the discrepancies come in to play. It's based off of these dudes' words. In 3 minutes. Being woken up out of a dead sleep. Come on down, and there's officers everywhere. The other thing is Sheldon's room is the front of the house, and it looks over the street. And he sees all the cop cars lined. Because now at this point, when he gets down there, it wasn't just 3. It was like 6, 8, 9. There was a party on Orchard, man. Again, none of this is normal. And it was said that in trial, like, what's protocol to go give a death notice? 2 officers. Well, why the fuck did you bring everybody? Do you guys know something that we don't? I mean, while Sheldon is making this call that lasted, this is even better. I mean, I gotta clap for these these detectives, these police officers. Talk about a bang up setup, baby. Woo! You guys did it. Oh, let's see. Sheldon makes a phone call. No one answered. It lasted 4 seconds. So at 3:39 and 10 seconds, it went to voicemail. Nobody picked up because I don't know. She's probably sleeping. But right after that, though, within 14 seconds, Bear calls back. His uncle calls back. And they talk for 29 seconds. 29 seconds. 29 seconds. Now, don't you think, because this is going to get good. Well, let's see. I requested, here we go. While on the phone, Sheldon was heard saying that Pugh got shot. This immediately struck me as odd, based upon nobody disclosing Pugh was shot. When Jeter got off the phone, he was asked how he knew Pugh was shot. Sheldon looked stunned and was quiet for a time, then stated that we told him. Sheldon was advised that no one told him about Pugh being shot. Again, this is all based on their words. There is no recording of this. There is zero recording of this. This is what these officers want to put in a report on 6/15. Jeter then said he put two and two together. When asked what 2 and 2 meant, he said his mom called him saying she heard gunshots and was checking in on him. Sheldon was asked, when did his mom call him? He was unable to give a time, but he looked at his phone and indicated around 10:30. That's, if he looked at his phone, he would have got the time right? Let me tell you when his mom called. I mean, just the pure fuckerage of the cops with this job. Woo! His mom called him at 11:48. 11:48. Now, doesn't that kind of all add up? Like, how is this young man lying? Did you think he was lying when he said his mom called? Oh, well, guess what? He showed you. But you guys lied and said that he said 10:30. Why would he say 10:30 when it says it right on his phone? 11:48, 11:46. Let's see. Let's see what my good work does. Let's see. To be exact, yeah, 11:48 and 12 seconds. For 2 minutes and 4 seconds. 11:48 and 12 seconds. Well, hot diggity dog. Has he lied yet? No. You guys lied. And you let other people lie. At this time, that's when, again, this all allegedly occurred. All this had to occur within 3 minutes of walking downstairs because he calls his uncle within 3 minutes. Sheldon was asked to come outside and give a recorded statement. So let's recap this. This all takes place. There's no body cams. There's no nothing. There's no recording devices. Everything that they want to say happened in that home and on that porch, it's what they're going to try to say. You want to know what Sheldon says? They're lying. That's not how it went down. It's not what that. There's no discrepancies. Now, earlier in the night, you guys were all there when you took the interview statements of the 911 caller, the person that passed up the body, the two people that went back with them went back with him so he wasn't a scared puss. These are people that you saw at the crime scene. And are telling you that they passed the body, didn't do anything, and then came back to the body. But none of that, interviewed them for all of 6 minutes. All right, you guys, get on out of here. Have a good day. Is it because they're white? Is that why? Wait, how about this? Why didn't you ask Brandon? Wait, if you didn't get out of the car, how'd you know he was shot? Oh, I could just tell because there was a lot of blood. I just figured because, Aliquippa's a bad area. But the 911 caller said he was hit by a car. And he saw the body and kicked the body, like tapped him with his foot. but none of that like requires. You know what? Can we go ahead and check your hands for gunpowder residue? Nope. Did they take tests? Did they take any gunpowder tests with their? Nope. Seems about right. But hey, can you come outside and give us a recorded statement? Wait, has there been a death notice given yet? Because I don't think there has been. How about, can you get the fuck up off my porch and out of my house? How would there be a discrepancy in the statements if the granddad says before Sheldon ever comes downstairs, this is what Sheldon told me, which is exactly what he said. You just weren't listening because what was he mumbling? You know, white people and black people talk a little bit differently, like with slang words and whatnot. Or are you just flat out lying? And there really is no discrepancy. But at the end of the day, the grandfather had the same story, and Sheldon wasn't even down there yet. But hey, does anybody think it's a little ironic that Pugh's address was Sheldon's address? Told by his grandfather, he doesn't live here. Okay. No, we want you to come in the car so we can go ahead and, interview you for like, an hour. You know what else is weird? How come the police wouldn't let, because, when actually Sheldon talked to his uncle and aunt flew up out of bed and drove over there immediately. They couldn't even get up the street because of all the cop cars lined on Orchard Street at 4 a.m. And the police would not let his uncle and aunt in the home to get to his dad, who has had a couple strokes. They refused to let his uncle in his dad's house. Well, what? And that's normal. Because it's not. They're standing outside not knowing what the hell is going on. Nothing. And you got a guy that's had a couple strokes who's, 80 years old and just woke up. Sheldon just woke up and God, did they just want to make sure that Sheldon didn't say the words lawyer? Did they not want to have another witness there to see what was actually being said without it being recorded when that stuff was going on? I can't think so. You go and check the next time that police tell you that you can't go in a house that belongs to your dad. That's not going to fly. Hell yeah, it's terrible. But the question should be is, Why was all this happening like that? You went there to give a death notice. He doesn't live there. You leave, no? Oh, that's right. Bits was like, that's the car we saw. That's the car we saw. Oh, just like you said, you saw a Dodge minivan, but it's a town and country up top. How about the fact that that 911 caller has 4 vans? Were vans traded out? Were they traded out? Oh, we didn't even look into that. You didn't look in to know that that there's a different van at the crime scene than the van that's going up the hill that you claim is a 911 caller. It's different. You don't think that matters? Because it does. It wasn't just the Alcoa Police Department that did this botch. It's deeper than that. It goes a lot deeper than that. But the ineffectiveness of, you know, Sheldon's team of lawyers is just unimaginably. It's just you just can't comprehend it. They called 2 people to the witness stand. 2. And 2. Oh, and by the way, when I got involved, I said, you know how Alcoa police are. He just went to the Del Tondo, all that bullshit. Why is Sheldon even remotely speaking? I mean, Santacola blasts his mug all over the news station saying that, you know, I'm his lawyer and da 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 da, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know how the police are. Why is anybody talking to any of these fucking ass clowns? This is why you don't talk to police. Because they can just say, you said whatever the hell they want, right? Because that's what they did. And that's where the discrepancy comes in, but that wasn't on record. The discrepancy came when it wasn't being recorded. How convenient. Just like the search warrant. You're searching a home when no one's there. How convenient. If you guys haven't seen Sheldon's pictures of the bedroom, that they say the room looked like when they arrived, it's a real head shaker. Just a real head shaker. But this all just goes back to setup and an ambush style setup that clearly Jeter knew what he was talking about the jobs, and Pew is not making sense. Pew on the day of the murder filled out and paid for a postal job application, $39, and was taking the postal exam, which you have to do, and that was like a big thing during COVID. They were offering Really good benefits, hiring like crazy. So was Amazon. And on 5/15/2020, he purchased he had to pay for the exam to take, and he did. And then just a couple days before that, he purchased on Expedia either a hotel or a flight. And those were very out of the ordinary purchases for Pew. And where they looked into, nope. But doesn't it go with what Sheldon was saying about the whole job thing? And if you're not, well, if you got fired from a job, if you're not going to go, if this, that, and the other, he's talking mess about his job. Clearly, he wasn't happy with his job. He was looking for another job, and he filled out and was taking the post office exam. And it does cost $39.99. Oh no, just $39. The day of the murder. And just a couple days before that, makes a purchase on Expedia. And you have to remember, Pew doesn't drive. He doesn't have a car. He's not a driver. He either gets rides from friends or he walks. I know, that's it. That he purchased the ice cream that night. He bought everybody ice cream that night. Not with the cash that he had in his pocket. And he normally pays with cash with everything. But he used his card. He never uses his card in person. He used his card. Why? Why didn't he pay cash? Like he always does. He paid with his card. He's never made one in-person purchase with his debit card. 45 days. Probably longer than that if you go back further. Not a single one. Except the day of the murder at Brewster's. Man, that sounds like a guy that needs to create a paper trail and be on camera, having fun with Sheldon. But why? You know what else is weird? Is how the gout medicine ever came to even happen that night. Pew gets over to the house on Orchard Street earlier in the morning and is kicking it with Sheldon's grandfather and uncle. And they go and get lunch together. And, after like the lunch hour between 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they're down there at TBJ's. It's a really good place. You guys should go if you're from around there. Joy, if you're listening. Love your food. So they're there. They're eating lunch. And then all of a sudden, Carlicia and her mom show up because they happen to see them there eating. What are the odds, right? And so they flip the vehicle around and pull in and they need to talk. And how do they know that they were there? How did they cross paths like that? And that's where the whole gout thing comes up. Like, hey, do you think that, I can get some of those gout pills that you have, grandfather, because it's the same as what my stepdad takes, and he's having a horrible flare-up and with his foot, and he needs it like really bad. Okay, yeah, well, I got some. During COVID and whatnot, they didn't want to be going to the hospital, they said, because of COVID. And he couldn't get his prescription filled, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But yeah, we'll bring it by early. We'll bring it by, when we're done doing what we're doing. We'll come by and we'll drop some off. That's why and how this ever happened. But they don't go right after they're done, eating and doing whatever they're doing. All these hours go by. Carlisha said that she called her dad, who she doesn't have a good relationship with, Bear. And she called him a bunch of times and he wasn't answering. But that's normal for him. But now, according to Bear, she didn't call. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But there was no original phone call that happened looking for, trying to get this medicine. If there was a big flare up, you just happen to go by, oh my gosh, that, there they are. Like, let me go ask them for gout medicine. If somebody needs something really bad, you would think that you'd be making a phone call and trying to hunt this down and get this, not like, oh, I just happened to pass them. And, oh, by the way, we really need to get this gout medicine. But hey, maybe it's a coincidence, but also maybe somebody told them where they were, so they could have that kind of random run-in. And who was with them? Pete was eating with them. And the other thing is that this happened that was so random that it was on because Carlisha's at work, but on her lunch break she just happened to drive by with her mom. Well, why is your mom in a vehicle with you if you're on your lunch break? Where do you work? You just go pick up your mom on your lunch break? You'd think you'd be by yourself, not with your mom because you're working. But I don't know, But good old these cops right here, they think they know. Why do they? Do you guys know what a double cross is? You guys know what a double cross is? It's really important lingo here. A double cross, some people don't know. It's not a basketball term. But a double cross is, let's say me and you make a plan that we're going to rob a bank and then we're going to split this money. And you're the safe guy and you know how to do all that stuff, and I have a different type of job that I do. Anyways, this happens, and then we're about to get scot-free, and I have our car waiting for us. My job was to get the getaway person and, blah, blah, blah. And we get in this car, and then I double cross you. I got you because you're the safe guy, and I needed you to be able to get into that safe. But now that I got the money and we're in this getaway car, I double cross you. I shoot you. I keep all the money and give it to and give some to the person that was driving. Another example would be, I tell you, I'm going to pay you $10,000. We're about to beat the shit out of this kid. We need you to bring him to us. You know, hang out with him, make him seem like whatever, but we need you to meet us at, you know, this location. Okay. And then it happens, and I'm getting ready to pay you this $10,000 because you're there and you brought the kid there that I need to beat up. But instead, I kill you and I frame the person that I told you I was going to be beating up for your murder. And now I just took out both of you guys. It cleared up my loose end. I didn't have to pay anybody $10,000. And you thought that this other person was about to get their ass kicked. But really, you were the bait. I needed to kill you so that I could frame him. But the whole time, you're in on the plot and the plan, and you have a place in it, and the script flips. That's what a double cross is. So if there was a plot and a plan to kill Sheldon that night, but we'll just keep letting the evidence take us places. You guys sleep well. Till next time.